What is up, guys, and welcome to the Nexus. Today we are here with Jeff, the winner of the Sheffield Planetary qualifier on his deck, Bossk Blue. Jeff, how are you doing? Congratulations on your win.
Thank you very much. I'm doing great. How about you?
Yeah, really good. Thanks. I didn't have the showing I wanted to, but I mean, I did X and two, so I can't complain too much. I lost my first two games. Managed to come back with 5 wins in a row, though. But yeah, not a great start to the day for me. But it was a great experience nonetheless. But yeah, how about you? You travelled all the way from Denmark to come over to this PQ. Um, Obviously, worth the effort. How did you find your experience coming to the UK and playing a tournament?
Obviously, it ended up being a lot of fun. No, I was hoping for just having a fun new experience playing of instead of just playing in Scandinavia. Was aiming, of course, to try to get to top eight, but just really there just to try to play. Everything went very well. I think I made the right call with my deck. Played
Absolutely
against the
did.
meta and ended up going all the way.
Yeah, for sure. So we're going to get into your deck list and stuff, but first we always do a little bit of a player profile on our players. So yeah, first of all, if you want to give us your history of competitive TCG, really, and let us know, what kind of got you into Star Wars.
Sure, that's going to be a very, very short introduction because this is my first real competitive game. I played a little bit of Flesh and Blood, uh, only for one of the sets, and went to one tournament of that. So this is my real first competitive TCG that I tried out. I always played a lot of board games, always played a lot of card games with my friends, but never attending events and playing on competitive level.
So what kind of spurred you on to start playing competitive card games? Um,
Well, we played. I played another competitive game. I don't know if you heard of it, but something called Warhammer Underworld. It's a miniature game mixed with some cards.
okay, interesting.
I played that a lot before the Corona, and when the Corona hit, the game died. At least for me and for my and my friends. So I really been seeking for something to play competitive after that, and I never really found my game. I love Star Wars. I love the franchise. So when that hit, I wanted to try it out. And there was the competitive game I've been looking for.
Yeah, absolutely. So, obviously, you live in Denmark, which is in Scandinavia for any of our viewers that don't know. What's it like playing locally in Scandinavia? What's the scene like? And do you travel to play, or do you just play within your own country? Because obviously Denmark's
I
quite small, isn't it? But it's
It is,
it's kind of
but
surrounded by a bunch of countries.
yeah, but just speaking for Denmark perspective, we have a lot of active players, and you don't have to travel far to play in several store showdowns. It's kind of easy. I attended in March, and the first round of store showdowns. I attended them all, basically in Denmark.
Oh wow!
Yeah, with 1.5 hour to 2 hours being the furthest to travel. So it's easy
Incredible.
to get to play in all of
how
the
how how was how
local
was
games.
how was that experience playing at like multiple show or like every showdown in your country? Did you do well at all of the tournaments or
Yeah, I won two of them, and I was in final in the third one, and then I had top card in all of them.
very nice?
Yeah, so I did quite well. I played Krennic back then, I remember.
Okay, so you've always been into sort of like the blue control side of the game.
Yeah, I loved the Krennic, and then went straight into Kira afterwards. Kira, I got beaten a lot by the meta, so that's why I changed it up here and going to Sheffield.
Yeah, absolutely. So yeah, we're just about to get into your deck list, and we'll talk about the whys and what ifs and etc. But yeah, guys, if you do enjoy our content, please don't forget to like and subscribe. We are on our way to 1,000 subscribers, so thank you everyone that's watched and enjoyed our stuff. But yeah, let's get into the deck profile now, and we'll do one of our patented transitions. All right, so here we are with Bossk Blue. We're actually covering up the leader and the base, but I figured that's pretty obvious. We don't really need to have that on the screen. However, this is your own personal list. I'm assuming that you created this list yourself, or is it like net decked or?
I'm not go. I didn't invent this from the. I stole some inspiration from the. I can't remember him. I was going to give him a shout out, but a guy who won the French tournament,
Okay,
one of the larger one they had, and then I adapted it a bit to fit the meta.
all right,
Uh,
cool.
so I think that
So
you
that
have seen a lot of
so
these busts before me.
was that a planetary qualifier winner, or was that a showdown
No,
winner, or something, or a premier
yeah, but
event?
it was more than 200 people at that tournament. It was a big
Oh
one,
yeah,
but it
the
was not
premier.
a first
Yeah,
one.
so it was like one of the premier events that the distributors have been doing in each sort of region to sort of hype the game up. All right, well that's awesome. I mean, to win a tournament with 200 players, you know the deck has to have legs to do that. So what attracted to you to Boss? 'Cause I know you said that you were a Kira player at heart, but you had some struggles early on in the set two meta. What made you jump ship? Let's say.
Well, I was tired of getting beaten. No, but I played against Bossk Blue myself, and I had a really tough time competing with it. And I thought that I wanted to give that a go. Then I saw the decks that attended the last PQs from the week before, and then I adapted it and it just ended up fitting perfectly. I think Bossk has all the answers for the current meta that we are facing,
Absolutely.
except maybe the deck you were playing yourself, right? The Mono hand.
Yeah, Monohan. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, that's a big of a hiccup for this deck. But other than that, I think it's doing quite well.
Yeah, to be fair, I actually in the top four of my showdown that I went undefeated on, I played Bossk Blue, and it was a very interesting match, very long, drawn out. He pretty much milled me out, but I managed to have enough gas to just get through like right at the end. But yeah, no, very still a tough matchup. I wouldn't say it's free by any means. You still have to have your wits about you, and you know you have to have your head on straight because the amount of removal can be quite frustrating. Which we'll
I
get.
just think all my practicing hours went into Boba and Sabine and so on, and the Monahan took me a bit by surprise with what he can do.
Yeah, absolutely. So yeah, talking of practice, how did you prepare for the planetary qualifier? Like, what was your sort of practice regime? Did you have a team, or do you just practice online? What's the way you do it?
Well, a bit of both. I only had 2 weeks to practice this deck, so I played a lot of online, and then we had 1 or 2 days set with three of my friends. They were also attending a planetary qualifier in the same weekend. They were attending in Copenhagen, so they wanted to practice their decks, and I wanted to practice this. So we used a full day to practice together. Um, Luckily for me, they were playing Sabine and Boba, which was helping me a lot.
So what reason did you choose to come to Sheffield instead of playing in Copenhagen?
I wanted to see something else. Basically, that was the first thing. Also, the Sheffield was announced in really good time, so I had a chance to sign up and get plane tickets and everything. And the Copenhagen was a very last minute kind of announcement. My friends then changed. We were also going to Sheffield. They changed it to go to Copenhagen because it's closer. But I wanted to try England out a bit.
Well, yeah, I mean, you came and you conquered, so it was definitely a good choice. So yeah, let's get into the deck list then. So in your own words, kind of describe the deck's functionality, like how you play it, to some as if you're talking to someone that has never played the deck or even seen it before.
Well, this deck I maybe tried to adapt too much to play against most decks, but the core idea of this deck is to survive the early game, remove all the units, heal yourself up, draw enough cards to enter the late game, and then play your big boys. That's one of the main ways to win. The other way to win with this deck is meeting out the opponent, disrupting everything he plays, kill everything he plays, and then vigilance your way to victory, and getting them back by using bounty on the crew.
Yeah.
I would say for Sheffield, the main way I won was big units at the end, finishing off the opponents. I think I only had 1 or 2 matches in all, the entire day.
Well, yeah. Let's get into your big boys then. So first of all, on the ground, you were. I mean, he's become synonymous with this set. Really, he is the boogeyman, the game finisher, the crate dragon. Um, I'm assuming this is your kind of main target when you're getting to 9 energy.
Yeah, that depends on the board state. Otherwise, it's Avenger. But he is when I play this, mostly it's finished. If it's not a blue player I play against, um, the dragon is the thing. Now you have controlled the board. You have killed everything he's up. Now you prevent him from playing any more cards, basically. Uh,
How many games during the tournament would you say this took down for you? Like, this turned off any chance of your opponent winning?
5%, I would say, maybe 20.
Yeah, wow, nice. So, an amazing card. Honestly, um, my idea to play around it was just to play more Change of Hearts. And I had one guy during the day that had put up Crate Dragon. He decided he'd clear my board using Overwhelming Barrage instead of swinging with it as the first action. Uh,
Yeah, that's a mistake.
yeah, so I went and changed and hearted it, and yeah, took down the game with that. Very very fun. But yeah,
Every boss player had that lesson.
yeah, I mean, incredibly powerful card, right? There's not really too many answers of it, like you say, outside of blue. Fell the Dragon, obviously, very, very helpful. Some people, me included, play Fell the Dragon in our sideboards off aspect just to deal with this card because it is pretty much a game ender. And if you're not thinking about it, it's just going to catch up with you. But yeah, no, great card. 20% of your wins being secured by it also is very, very cool. The other
Yeah.
big boy is the notorious set one space monster, the Avenger. Um, Talk to me. Tell me the best times to use this. We all know what it does. But tell me the best sort of moments that you use this throughout the tournament and where it was most effective, where Crate Dragon wasn't.
Well, if you don't have the board cleared and they have that one big unit on the board, then coming in with Avenger just killing off whatever he has there is brutal.
Yeah.
It's not as good if they have multiple small units. Then it can be too slow to play this. But if they have that one big unit that you want to get rid of, that maul or whatever that could be, Avenger is devastating.
Yeah, absolutely. And outside of bouncing the card, there aren't really a lot of immediate answers for this really powerful card. So, what about this one as far as game finishing? Would you say it was as impactful as Crate Dragon, or would you say it was a bit more situational?
Well, it is a bit more situational, but this card is easier to catch up. Crate Dragon is a kind of a win more card.
Yeah,
When once you have cleared the board, you have that to finish it off. Where Avenger can get you back into the game real fast. Also, you play that a turn ahead of the opponent playing a Crate Dragon. They can't play it because then you just hit the claim, you hit the base, and their Crate Dragon dies.
yeah,
So
absolutely,
it's also
absolutely, yeah.
deterring. Deterring. Yeah.
Yeah, so it's about making sure you've got the right sort of you got the initiative in the correct space, I guess, later in the game to utilize this to its fullest.
Of
Um,
course, depending on the opponent.
yeah, but locking players out is like you just said, they're unable to play anything because it just immediately dies to Avenger is a very good way to finish top heavy decks. So very interesting. Okay, so let's go talk about some of the cards in more of your mid range. Before we started the interview, you mentioned that this card was kind of your MVP. So entrenched. Talk to me. Why was this your MVP
Uh,
for the day?
oh, it won me so many battles against Boba on the flip turn. Having your leader out before Boba and then hitting him with this means they can't play their Boba basically because he will get killed in one hit.
So you so
So
you so that's why you were just using it to buff Bossk in order to put it out of essentially put Boba to the sword immediately.
That's one way to use it. Yeah, you can buff a child and get him to 9/9. You can use it on your the client. He suddenly becomes a 5/8. There's a lot of utility for this. Or if they put up a fire spray, you can use it on that, so it can't do anything. I just think this card has so much utility. It just won me a lot of games, basically.
Yeah, and I mean, being a two cost is actually very very interesting as well. That makes it viable in even early game situations where it might be a bit harder if it was say a four cost. Um, but yeah, no, like you say, you use it on your main sentinel. So talk to us about Charleston. Obviously, we all know this is the boogeyman sentinel for blue control. But where did you find it most effective? What was the roadblock um, that you used it
Lieutenant
for?
Charleston was definitely the best card I had against Sabine in most matches. Just closes out that ground area basically, and that Sabine flip as well. A very strong card. I only play him if I can buff him to his fullest, otherwise he goes into the resources. I find that even at 5, most people have some kind of answer to him. But that 6 seems like a sweet spot.
Yeah, six is
So
definitely very 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 tall. So would you say? I mean, what were your matchups during the day? Did you play mostly Sabine and Boba, or did you play stuff outside of that realm?
if you take away the top cut, in my 7 rounds, I played 2 or 3 Bobbas and 2 Sabines.
Okay. So what about your other matchups that you played? Can you remember? Can you remember what
Yeah, I
decks they were?
remember. The first one I played was a Ray Wet, a red card.
Yep.
Um,
The kind of the discard centric
exactly,
bomb
and that was
deck.
actually my toughest matchup throughout taking away my final fight against Mono Han. That was my final match against Joshua. That was very difficult. But otherwise, the first match I had against Ray was really hard. He managed to pillage me out almost all 3 games, and I ended up by winning my third game on basically my draw, luck of the draw.
Just top decking the
Yeah,
goods. Yeah.
basically. So was very fortunate in that fight. But as said, I mean, I also think I didn't play the best in my first match. I was maybe a bit of nervous just getting started, but that was a tough match.
So would you say the sort of heroism blue red builds are quite strong into these your kind of build, your boss build?
I need a. It's difficult. So I think I before this event, I would say it was more like a 60-40 in my favor. But that match certainly didn't seem like that. I think I was very lucky on that one. But
Yeah, I
I
mean,
think I
relentless pillages make it very difficult, because control definitely wants a nice size hand to have the options to deal with because
normally you
Bossk is very reactive, right? I mean, I can't remember a game where I've not been past the initiative by Bossk players at the start of the game. So, you know, not having the options and ripping them away like that seems very important.
so the card draw early on is very important for Bossk in these matchups. Just having, as you said, all the answers to the different actions that the opponent perform. And I didn't get my card draw going. I kept losing cards to pillage and I end up top decking. Yeah.
Yeah, well, I mean, sometimes we need a bit of luck, right? But yeah, so Bossk is a bounty deck. So let's get onto the bounties. We were just talking about draws, so let's talk about Deathmark. What a powerful card. Probably your main target for your flip turn, if I'm not mistaken. I could be wrong.
Definitely. Unless I have taken a lot of damage
Yeah, yeah,
against Sabine or something,
unless you need
but Deathmark
an oh
is
shit
so
button.
strong.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure.
um,
I mean, four cards that basically recoups all of the heavy card use that Bossk has in the early game, right? Because you're doing a lot of bounties and stuff like that. Would you say this is an important part of stabilizing the deck for the end game?
this is a must-have card in the deck. I couldn't pick that out if I wanted to. Even against Sabine, on four resources, you have this, and maybe you have Force Stroke as well. you play this on a unit, you flip you kill something with force choke. Next turn you play your boss, you kill whatever you bountied, and then you get 4 cards. It's insanely strong.
Yeah, I mean that in a lot of control matchups, that can honestly be all she wrote. Giving that many cards, giving that many answers, to sort of stifle your strategy. Did you ever have any problems actually like getting the combo off with your leader with Deathmark, or would you say that was kind of just your main sort of focus to get that play line correct?
Oh, I for boss players, it's not an absolute must to get it doubled by Bossk. If it's a big maybe to do so, then take the easiest path and just kill the unit with whatever you have, and only take the 2 cards. It's not an absolute must. It's better to have 2 cards guaranteed than maybe 4 cards.
No, fair enough.
Yeah. So I'll try to set it up, but if it looked like that he got it covered or something, then I will just kill it with whatever I can, and then play Bossk with nothing, and maybe I'll draw something else to bounty and with later on.
Makes sense. Makes sense. Bosk is a very strong deploy as well. Turn five, turn four. Sorry, and it's a 4/6. I think it's obviously Boba's obviously the strongest, but it's very comparable stats to come out on five. So very good leader in that respect. But yeah, let's talk about the other main bounty that you use, and that is top target.
That also saved me a lot, especially against the Boba Yellow matches that I had. Um, just being able to play this on a unit early, just having it on it, and they know that I can heal 6 or 4 whenever it's is really good, and you can start pinging on whatever. If
Yeah,
they play at 3/2 unit, you have 2 pings and then it's dead. It heals whatever the damage you took from that unit as well.
yeah. I
I think
mean,
that is really strong.
the double heal on the leader with this. If you're a Sabine player or something like that, that's pretty much game over right there. That's nailing the
Yes.
game shut. I feel like if you can pull that off, so extremely, extremely strong. And yeah, talking about heals, we'll go into the last feature card of your deck that we've got. It's Vigilance, fantastic card. Obviously, you're playing it slightly off aspect, with it
I am,
being
yeah.
double blue. So this is more sort of a mid to later game option, I guess, to kind of help stabilize a bit. What
It
what?
depends on the board situation. I mean, this can be you want to mill some cards from them now to because you expect a later game, but it can also just be a kill whatever they have and heal to stabilize. I think Vigilance is a very great tool to have in your deck. I mostly use it to defeat and heal, I would say, but in the few matchups I had that I knew would go late, like in the Han 2 I played against, I used it to mill early on as well. So kill something and then mill, and then you expect to heal for something else, or you know that it won't deal that much damage to you, so the heal doesn't really matter right now. But this is for me, it's mainly a removal heal card.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, did the shield come into play at all during the day?
It did. Sometimes when you already have the board state, maybe have a child son out, maybe have your Bossk unit out. You can play it. You can heal up that remaining that HP damage you're taking on your base, or you can use it to mill something and then shield your unit. Um I think shielding your unit is also a very strong option, but it's only if you already have control of the board.
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, obviously, if you can get it on Charleston, that can be real detrimental to anyone trying to take you down that turn. So, as well as the healing. But yeah, so Vigilance, obviously, a very strong card. I think all of the. I mean, obviously, Cunning is incredibly good as well. These cards, which have multiple options and give you multiple resolutions, I think are they're gold dust, and I hope we get more. It does create a more dynamic sort of game state, and gives people things to worry about.
And
I
there need to be a benefit of only playing one color, right?
Yeah, exactly. I do love Vigilance as a card. It's one of my favorite cards in the game for sure. It's always fun to make people discard six if you've got no other options as well. So, um, but yeah, so let's talk a bit about your some of the other cards that we didn't feature. So Bazine, how did you enjoy using her during the day? Obviously, she's a very very strong card. You're playing her
Yeah,
off aspect. But I guess
yeah.
that's
Well,
just go on.
yeah, sure. Well, we can talk about her and then maybe Bounty Hunter Crew in the kind of the same bracket.
Yeah, for sure.
Um, I made this deck to play against Boba and Sabine, and then I expect a lot of people would do the same as me and then bring hard control. So, expecting the mirror match, I wanted to fit in both Basine and Bounty Hunter Crew, which is their main purpose. That was for facing any kind of mirror, so I can pick out their vigilance, pick out their restock, and get my own vigilance back.
Yeah, so you
Uh,
win the mill race essentially by restocking your deck.
Basically, yeah, and picking out their strong cards and so on. Both Basine and Bounty Hunter Crew for most of my matches ended up being immediate resource cards, but for those few instances against Hansu and so on, then they were really strong.
Yeah, I guess it
Uh,
gives you pretty easy options for sideboard as well. Like if you want to bring in extra perishings or
yeah, normally I would not recommend having both Basine and Bounty Hunter Crew in your main kind of deck. I would take Pillage or something else instead.
it was
Instead
just
of Bounty Hunter Crew.
just a metacal, I guess.
It was basically it was just me expecting to facing hard control or Boba Sabine, and I wanted it's so important to win the first match in a hard control mirror match.
Yeah, with the
Uh,
time obviously it's yeah
Everything. So if I had any slow opponents, it's just better to just make sure to win the first match. So I wanted to have good options on that. Also playing Boba Blue or Cat Bane Blue is really tough without these cards.
for
So this
sure.
was a necessary card that I didn't really want to put in, but I did it to be able to win some mirror matches as well.
Okay, obviously you've got an obscene amount of removal in your deck. What could you quickly run by the choices? Because obviously some are at 2, some are at 3. If you could just you know give us your
Yeah,
thoughts on them. Obviously, Super Laser Blast at 3 is fantastic for pretty much any situation when you're
yeah.
because you've got a low amount of units, right? But yeah, let's talk about the others.
Yeah, well, let's start checking from the beginning, and we have Force Choke to start with, which is a really, really strong card against both Boba and Sabine. Dealing those 5 damage for 2 resources is a lot. It gives them a card, so this needs to only be used in matches where you don't want to go into the late game, because that card can be very, very difficult.
Very very nice for tech and DJ as well. When you're getting your energy stolen, you can just whip it back for 2. Pretty powerful.
Exactly. It pairs very well on your 4 resources. If you have 2 of them or one of them and Death Mark, and maybe you have Entrenched, you play 2 cards and that go. And it's so strong. Putting a bounty on something and then killing it instantly with 5 damage. Or maybe you have a client out and you buff him with Entrenched and then you kill something instantly with Force Show again. I have one in my sideboard, so I put that in against all aggro matches basically, or early mid game matches.
Any
Um,
game where you got 5 armor threats that you need to get off the board immediately. Um, so yeah, the next piece of removal, Power of the Dark Side. Obviously,
I think
spot removal.
Yeah, and I think that's it. Basically, is a must-have in every blue villain. It's such a strong card. Just
Yeah,
dealing with something, they can play their Boba. They can play one big unit on an empty board if I have 3 resources up, because there could be a power of the dark side, and that will just win me the game. So the ever-pressing threat of the opponent having a power of the dark side is just a great
yeah.
option.
I hate that card honestly. I'm not a control
I
player
also hate it.
myself, so make an opening. Fantastic card. I guess you've got that in to kind of deal with Tie Phantoms and that kind of
For
threat.
TIE Phantoms. It's not my favorite card actually. It's the one I would pick out if I could, but that lurking TIE Phantom is just devastating if I can't deal with it.
Yeah, I
So two
mean,
copies in the main and one in the sideboard for Boba Yellow or whatever could run it.
generally it seems that most hard control decks, their weakness generally is in the early mid game space aggression. So yeah, and obviously that card can't be touched by most of your arsenal. So yeah, make an opening the perfect out to just clip it off the board immediately.
Influence as well is an option you can use on it, but it kind of it's not a very good option because it kills you Power of the Dark Side for the rest of the game. It kills you Avenger. It basically means that you can't do anything in space anymore. So you want to use make an opening on Lurking Time Fighter
Yeah.
if possible, of course.
And then we move on to open fire. This is such a long list of removal. It's crazy. So free open fires. What's your reasoning for having that at free?
4 damage for free resources, I think is very good. It kills a lot of things. It also put a lot of things in range of takedown. You can use it on a Boba before he puts on his armor. Um, and then you use a takedown of something else next turn to kind of try to kill him.
Yeah, that's
It's
definitely
just
a
a
good play line for sure. That's yeah. So it basically makes it so that the armor is just irrelevant at that point, I guess.
he gets into the 5 HP when he put his armor on, and then he's in takedown range for the next turn, which is very strong as well. That's for the Boba. Other than that, it kills almost everything that the person can put out in on free resources, right? Then
Would
it's
you
your
would you
turn.
would you say it's an early game, more of an early game piece for tempo?
Yeah, in most cases, it's used on they put out a wing. You next turn you claim you kill it with that, or they put up a freedom fighter. If it's a bean, you kill it. Um, so yeah, it's an early game removal just to go on to the later game. If I get it on my later, maybe I have it against. I was a bit scared of the green Bobas running Relentless. I kept a
Yeah,
copy of it many times for that because then you can throw out those open fire and get that nasty Relentless effect away, and then you can use Rival's Fall or Fell the Dragon on it afterwards.
yeah, for sure. So takedown at free. I've seen some control players they play less takedowns in the main, some play more. Why do you play free in your main?
Think it's the best early removal. I can't really think of anything it doesn't kill in the first kind of rounds, except for maybe some leaders that comes out with more health. But it just instantly gives everything in the first kind of goes. I think it's an amazing card.
It definitely
Also, it goes around of the Boba armor and what else shields and stuff they can have on their units.
definitely has to be respected for sure. So we move on to the kind of top end of the removal. So fell the dragon at 2 with 1 in the side. Do you want to take us through when you'd bring the third in? And obviously, your main targets for it.
Yeah, the third comes in against, Han 2, someone else who wants to go to late game to be able to pick out their bigger units, basically. It also comes in against Boba Green with the Devastator and with the Fed Fire Spray. It's just an really cheap removal of larger units. It's just a way better vanquish, in my opinion.
Yeah, for sure. And I guess later game it gives you the ability to then play another card like Charleston or something like that.
Yeah.
Being that it's slightly cheaper than our next choice, Rivals Full, which you have only at 2 and none in the side. So, what are your main reasons for running Rivals Full at 2? And I guess your main targets generally the leaders.
And the leaders being Palpatine and Boba is the main reason why they're here. I'd rather had another copy of Fell Dragon in and then take one of them out, but just in case that I'm not able to remove Boba, I need something to kill him if he gets his armor on. And Rival Fall can't be that card.
Cool. Okay, so do you want to just go through the last bits? You got a few extra smaller units and pillage in your side. Do you want to just explain the usage of those cards?
Well, restock is oftenly obviously if I go into a control mirror match, so
Mm-hmm.
I'm able to have a second chance on picking up a unit if in case he deletes the first one. The Doctor Pershing is card draw against anyone who wants to pillage my hand or I want to maybe Spark of Rebellion, something that destroys my hand. I need some additional card draw, and Doctor Pershing is really strong at that.
Did you find you bought the two perishings in during the day much or?
I did against all the Boba Yellow players. I did against both the Red and the Han 2 Blue. I think the additional card draw early on is really strong. So yeah, I brought him in quite a lot.
Cool.
The extra copy of the scene is obviously, again, for the mirror to have an extra chance of picking out an important card from your opponent. The make an opening is, as we said, for the lurking TIE Phantom, and that's the sole purpose of it. The client is for the Sabine and the other aggro matchup, just to have that extra fat body on your board that can also heal. Also, his ability is also a bounty, so it also stacks with Bossk. It's a very strong
Yeah,
effect.
yeah. I was going to say, like, talk about the client for me, because it's been utilized quite a lot in this meta. Would you say it was like a very integral card to the build, or was it just kind of something, you know, kind of something that you could just play on curve?
It's not that often I played on curve. But it's a very strong card against any aggro. If you have that one out and you have Bossk out, then everything they play will just instantly be 10 health to me, because you can put a bounce on with the client and you can kill with the Bossk. That's 10 health.
And that's broken. Yeah,
It's
very.
he's very strong in the Bossk. Also, if you haven't your Bossk clip, you can use him to target and you can ping with Bossk. It's a very strong card in this setup. Also, the 5 heal is very important and it's a lot.
So, one Palpatine. Any reason for that? You just like the card? It's like, it's kind of like your pseudo overwhelming barrage.
Yeah, it is. It's just to have another option. I kind of see the Snoke and the Palpatine in one pile of 8 drop that I have. And I think the list that I looked at had 2 Palpatine and 1 Snoke. I take it the other round to be able to play Chilton more effectively, and also just because I think Snoke is a bit more useful than Pal. But those 6 damage can do a lot for you when he drops down.
Perfect. All right. So, do you just want to take us through your top eight? Then you went through you told us your matchups in the Swiss, but just spoiler, you played Boba all 3 games. Is that
I
right?
did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, do you want to go
So
quickly through your matchups and how they went for you?
yeah, but let's just quickly go through the last match of the 7, where I played the Monohan,
Yeah.
which was
Joshua, my mentor of
yeah.
such. Yeah.
Uh, and lack of practice against that deck, I did not stand a chance. I mean, I was on a high all day because I won all my matches, and then I faced him, and I was back on the ground.
Yeah, I
That
mean,
was
Joshua's an incredible player. He's had some serious results already in the UK. So
a
it's
really nice guy as well,
yeah,
which
lovely
which is
man.
even tougher.
Yeah, but no.
Uh,
So that was your only loss of the tournament, right?
yeah, it was, and I was really praying not to draw him in the final 8. I was lucky that Boba Green player beat him. And then I only faced 3 Bobas. I played a Boba Yellow in the first one, which I believe I won all 3 2-0. My deck was built to face Boba, so I really didn't have an issue. And none of these players played Relentless in the sideboard, which was a huge benefit to me.
Oh,
That was
huge.
fine. My
Yeah.
my main my main scare was if anyone had Relentless, because I have a lot of trouble dealing with that. But
So
no one did.
would you say that your top eight run was actually a bit more relaxing than expected?
Well, it's never relaxing in that kind of setting,
Of course.
but it was in my favor, I believe, all the matches. So I was able to. Also, I had a lot of luck on the draw. I think I had a good deck against Boba. I also was lucky with my draws. But
Well,
yeah,
you know what they say about lucky draws is you make your own luck by making the deck
that's
the way it is. So,
that's true.
um,
Um, but yeah, it was comfortable matches in the top 8. I had more difficulty with the 7 starting games. Yeah.
so congratulations, dude. You took it down. You will be going to the Galactic Championships, and you'll get to your day one buy. Are you excited to play the exclusive PQ Winners Tournament? Because I'm pretty
Yeah,
excited to
yeah,
see
it's
what the
it's
swag
good
is
fun.
and stuff.
Yeah, it sounds like a lot of fun. I'm really curious on the date and the place and everything else, but I'm looking very much forward to participate. I
Yeah.
thought I had to grind out some more PQs, but winning my first one was definitely a big bonus. Now the rest of it I can just join for fun.
Yeah, absolutely. Maybe get some more spots for that tournament for yourself.
Yeah, yeah.
But yeah, let's finish up now. So thank you very much for thank you very much for all your help with the explaining the deck. Fantastic result. You said it was your first sort of big tournament with card games, right?
That was my at least the competitive one. I had some other more casual events, but this is my first competitive event. Yeah.
So amazing result. You've obviously prepared very well and have a natural talent for the games. So do you think you'll be going to any more upcoming events in Europe? Where can people see you and potentially challenge you on the tables?
Yeah, I will do my best to try to attend some more PQs once the new set arrives and they announce some dates. I will try to sign up to as many of them as I can. I try to play as in as many tournaments as I can. So any PQs in England and Scandinavia and Germany and those countries, I will try to attend.
Fantastic. Well, no, it's going to be great to see you on the scene. And yeah, we should definitely get some testing in sometime. I'm always happy to test against some heavy control players.
Yeah, if you bring another deck, then sure.
No, I only play one deck. No. I will be playing new decks in the next set. But yeah, no, you can always use practice against the double hunt.
Definitely could.
But yeah, so congratulations. Any shout outs? You want to shout out your testing partners or anyone else?
No, they don't get credit. Yeah, no, of course. A big shout out to my three main friends here in Denmark that helped me out a lot. They attended PQ in Denmark as well, and they did quite well. One of them made it to the semifinals, so hopefully they will be joining some more PQs with me as well and getting a ticket with me.
Yeah, get that grind on, guys. But yeah, no. So heavy congratulations again, and thank you so much for doing a video with us. And yeah, we definitely look forward to seeing you again soon. And yeah, let's hopefully do this again.
So, no worries. Thank you very much. That was very lovely being here.
Alrighty, we'll see you guys next time, and don't forget to like and subscribe. Thank you very much.